Welcome back to another episode building my LS Swap Toyota 4Runner. In the last video, I bought the car, put Land Cruiser diffs under it and mounted the engine. In this episode, I'm going to start piecing it all together and hopefully get it ready for the first fire up.
5 teams, 5 unique builds. We've gathered a bunch of our great mates to take on Tasmania's toughest terrain, testing their skills, their rigs, and their resilience. All in support of men's health this Movember. This is Kincrome Build Wars.
It is now a new day.
Morning.
We've got Ben here again today.
Full time.
Full time. And I decided that I wanted to do the swivel hubs, so I pulled them all down this morning before Ben got here, stripped them all, banged the new races in, new seals, and also got the front diff center in last night, so that's in there, ready to go. Cleaned out all the housing. Over here on the bench, got all the swivel hub parts here all ready to go. Cleaned them all up, and I actually had a swivel hub kit in the back of my Gold Ute. It was sort of a bit of a mangled up box. I've been robbing bits out of it when I've done stuff on the tracks. It's been in there for a while, so all that was really left in it was the bits that I actually needed, so it worked out good. Over here, front and the rear hubs all cleaned up, new bearing races in them. Was going to wash up the bearings, grease them, put them back in. A couple of them didn't look that good, so all new bearings. I'm using Drive Tech wheel bearing kits. I actually had them on my spares box shelf over there. They're a good little kit, good quality Koyo bearings. And then in this little packet, it's got a seal and a gasket and an inner axle seal. So usually these bearing kits don't come with the inner axle seals, and I actually ordered them separately so I could do it, but it's good to know that it's in there.
I also robbed the locking hubs off Baz, which when you work it out on Spares Box comes to about $354. While I was doing this, Ben cleaned up the steering box and threw some paint on it. I then decided to tack together the winch cradle to see how it looked. I actually just got the invoice for all the CNC cutting, which includes the cost of the steel used and some extra labour time for the 3D scanning. The bill come to a total of $667.
Alright, so pretty much where we're up to now is the car is sort of half together. We've got a bit of a look at how it's going to look. The axles are under there. There's a few little things that need finishing off. The engine is in there. The gearbox is mounted. Nothing's sort of welded out yet, but it's ready to go. I've made my winch cradle, I've got rear bar work ready to go and slider plates, so I'm ready to start bending pipe. I've gone and done a lot of other thinking, ordered parts and worked out all the stuff that I need to do for the next step. I've had a pretty good crack at this car, and a massive shout out to Ben for all the help that he's gave me while he's been on his holiday.
Last episode I designed a mount on CAD for this steering box and got the go ahead from my engineer. Now it's time to weld it together.
Oh, righto. Motor's out. What's going on over there, Ben?
Bit of a clean up, mate.
Bit of a clean up. Ben's on the clean job. He's just starting to pull the motor apart and clean a few bits and pieces. What are we doing? New front main.
Front main, we've got a full gasket kit here.
Putting some new seals in it, so fix a few oil leaks and get it all ready. While Ben's doing that, I'm going to weld out the mounts and put some paint on them, and then we'll put it all back together.
I welded the crush tubes into the chassis for the bottom 2 bolts and then sanded them back flat. Weld through primer is applied and then the plates are welded in place. You will notice that I'm stitch welding it and leaving gaps. I'll come back once this is all cooled down and I'll weld in between these, and then I'll clean up any sharp edges with a grinder. It's now time to give the motor a freshen up and put it all together. I've had a bunch of new parts rock up and I'll go through them as they get used. The motor apparently has an intermittent lifter tick, so I decided to pull it all down and do a cam while I'm at it. I'm only putting in a mild cam because it still has to pass emissions. This one is from Crow Cams and it was $568. I also replaced the oil pump, timing chain and all of the lifters, including a full gasket kit. These parts come to a total of $1,030. I cleaned everything that I could get to, inspected the bores and slapped it all back together. Reusing the head bolts and not getting the faces machined is highly frowned upon in the mechanic world, but I'm working on a budget and I'm confident that this will be fine. The head bolts are torqued up in stages, first with a tension wrench and then by degrees. They're tightened in sequence and I mark the top of the bolts with a paint pen so I can see when I'm at 90 degrees. The push rods and rockers are then reinstalled and the rest of the covers and accessories can be bolted on. Now that the motor's all back together, it's time to get it back in the car and start working out the engine bay. The motor is back in the car. I've actually just worked out this fan belt. I've got a manual tensioner on here, aftermarket one, which allows me to have a fair bit of adjustment in it. So I can sort of use different belts, but yeah, got that on there. Also, got a new brake booster on there, new master cylinder and clutch cylinder. And look who's here! Whoa, special guest.
Yeah, come to work on the Hilux Surf.
Come over to Australia to give me a hand.
Yeah,
He knew I was pushing for time, so Timmy actually gave me a hand to fit this stuff up. He's been inside. He's put the clutch pedal back in because it didn't have one of those, did it?
No.
Only had 2 pedals. Now it's got 3. And yeah, we've got the handbrake back in there, sort of half sorted out. We actually clocked it around a bit. It's a little bit custom, but it's all...
It's custom with a K.
Yeah, but it all works. Well, nearly. It's not finished, but steering box is on there. That's come up real good, so that all got welded out. And yeah, it's been painted and it's all dried and been bolted up. Yet to work out the drag link. That'll come soon. I've got the steering shaft itself is worked out. Where to go, Ben? You had it in your hand, didn't you?
It's right here.
Look at this. Ben's painted her up. Collapsible steering shaft, because obviously needed for engineering. But I can't put it in until I work out the extractors on this side, which are over there on the bench, which I've already started on. I've just got to weld them out, and then I can put all that back together. But we need to put the gearbox back in it because I need to measure the tail shaft lengths so I can get them made. As of today, I've got about 5 weeks to get this car finished, built and ready for the first Build Wars trip. So
I reckon you'll be right.
with all the editing and whatnot in between, I sort of do 1 week on, 1 week off. So I've got 5 weeks, means I've only got 2 weeks. Yeah. We're getting there slowly, so I've still got all the bar work to do and all the rest of it, but we'll get it up in the air and we'll get this gearbox in. Also, I have changed this sump over. Well, I've done it when we've done all the motor stuff, so it's got plenty of clearance there. I think everything is, going to fit and work. And I've also got a lot of clearance here for this drag link. So the plan is the drag link is going to bend down and then come under this one to there. So I bought this aftermarket one, which I was going to bend up. But what do you reckon, Timmy?
Looks good, man. Keen to get this gearbox in.
This is, I haven't really showed this yet, but this adapter, you would have seen it throughout the build, but this is actually Ben's old adapter. So Ben had a LS Turbo 79 flat bonnet, which he actually rolled.
Had a Barney, old Leskin.
Had a bit of a Barney with the ground, with his roof. And he parted it out. And he actually sold this adapter to me. He wanted to give it to me for free, didn't you?
Yeah, I did, but we kept it for a rainy day and the day's come.
It's actually has been raining all day today.
Believe it or not.
But so he sold this to me for $200. What do you reckon? That's pretty
a bargain. You got something fancy to put on the back of it too, don't you?
That's exactly right. So I've got a new clutch there to put on the back of it, and that's what we're going to be doing next. So this is a Marks Fall drive adapter, but it's one of the old ones. So I think this was like, what, $800 or something when you bought it?
Yeah, it would have been around that.
Yeah, so they're much dearer than that now, but I believe they're also different to that now. So yeah, it was pretty fortunate that I've got this secondhand off Ben for cheap, because that's really helped with the budget. Timmy's been over here reading the instructions on the bench.
Yeah.
This here is a uni clutch. Uni clutch is made by Clutch Industries, which also makes some other clutches like Forterrain and whatnot, which is what I've got in. Frank, you said you run Forterrain as well.
I've got Forterrain both cars.
Yeah, so uni clutch is like it's a special type of clutch. I've actually got a brochure here which shows all the different models. The uni clutch itself is a multi-fit clutch. So basically they've designed, there's a few different types. The standard uni clutch, there's a uni clutch sport, Forterrain, and a uni clutch track. So this is more for your high performance race cars, drag cars and stuff. And they use a fitment ring, but this fitment ring allows this one clutch to fit to a whole bunch of different cars.
Once you have your fitment ring sorted, I'm pretty sure you just fit any one of these clutches to this fitment ring.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it also takes, like, because it's all one unit, it takes like surfaces fully out of it, because the surfaces are all within the one pressure plate. Like, you don't have to get flywheel surfaced or anything like that.
When I picked this up on Ben, being second hand, you can see it doesn't look like in great condition. Now, I was going to get this dropped off to get machined, as you would any other clutch, and then I realised that I don't actually need it. So it's a twin plate clutch. You actually can't see the second plate, but the middle plate is right there, and the next plate is in between that friction plate and this black ring, which the black ring you need to imagine as if that is the flywheel. So you don't actually have to machine this. Nothing rubs on this. That whole unit basically bolts to it. Because it's a twin plate clutch, obviously they're gaining a lot higher ratings out of them. This clutch is rated to 1100 Newton meters. The gold one, it's rated to 2000 Newton meters. And then upwards from there, they go all the way up to that one, which is a 4-plate clutch. So you can get clutch.
And that's 3,500 Newton meters peak.
3,500 Newton meters peak. That's, pretty ridiculous.
Yeah.
Inside the fitment kit, there is a QR code. I've chosen the car. This clutch is spec'd to a 1HDT Land Cruiser. And then I've chosen the sport clutch, which I'm using. Tells me what fitment kit I need, which I've already got. And then, I'm using the standard flywheel. Basically goes through every step to install the clutch. It tells you all the things that you need to check. This fits the Land Cruiser splines of the Land Cruiser input shaft. But you were saying before, Timmy, you reckon one of these other ones is a Patrol.
Yeah, I think that one's a Patrol.
So you could actually put this clutch in my car or Timmy's car.
Yeah.
If you had this fitment ring to fit your car, which is obviously multi-fit, this does a few cars.
Yeah.
I could keep one of these on the shelf and it could fit a few different cars.
Yeah, for sure.
So we got to work installing the clutch, but before we could reinstall the gearbox, I had to make some dowels. Timmy had an idea to use a drill bit because it was the only thing that we could find that was the exact size. We then assembled the clutch using Loctite and a torque wrench on every bolt. We fitted the clutch to the car, and then it was time to install the gearbox. Now, the uni clutch itself is usually around $960, but with the fitment ring and then take away my spares box discount, it come to $1,170. And with all the parts added up to this point, that brings us to a new total of $18,129.
We're home.
We're home.
Solid!
Look at that.
That is one of the easiest gearboxes I reckon I've ever slid in.
The trick is, and you always say this to me
I
as
say
well,
the exact same as Timmy.
you go around and line everything up by, you get the gaps like perpendicular or parallel, and then you get like the gearbox, all the holes clocked right, and then if you get in the right spot, it's literally just a push and a shake.
That's exactly right. And it even helped having the three of us. I was sitting here with the camera.
We had someone
saying
at every axis.
Yeah, someone at every angle, and we got it perfect, and it literally just, boom, straight in. Gearbox is in, cross member, all bolted up. What do you reckon, Timmy?
Yeah, it's good. Fits in there nice, actually. Considering it's not the right gearbox.
Yeah, considering it's
and it's not the right motor.
Considering it's about 5 times the size of the gearbox that probably come in this car.
Yeah. But no, it fits well. And it went home real nice too. Drive line's done. All you got to do is get some tail shafts now.
Timmy's got to head off, but thanks for giving us a hand, Timmy. Much appreciated.
Anytime, dude. Anytime. Can you see this thing in Tassie?
Just wanted to quickly show you the Kincrome Advent Calendar is back this year. Isn't full of chocolates. This Advent Calendar is actually full of tools, so it's pretty cool. They're also giving away $90,000 worth of prizes. So if you find one of these gold things inside your Advent Calendar, you win the prize, which is on the back here. It says what it is, what it's worth. And yeah, Christmas is coming around quicker than we realize. And if you want to go check these out, jump on the website. There's a link in the description of this video. Follow that, that'll take you through, and go check it out. So I'm here with Ben. Timmy is no longer here. Thanks very much, Timmy, for giving us a hand with getting the gearbox all back in. So
and the clutch.
And the clutch. So me and Ben finished it off. It's all bolted up and it's all done. And we've actually just spent a fair bit of time on this engine bay and just sorting out a few little other things off camera. So there's a lot of like making hoses, routing hoses, working out fittings, and just little things that we probably
take time.
They take a bit of time, and yeah, I guess we did need to film them all. We've actually got to get the car done, built, so we had to put the camera down for a little bit and do some stuff. So, and we got carried away, and now the whole engine bay's plumbed up.
It's done. It's nearly ready to run.
Oh well, we didn't mean to get this carried away, but yeah, we've been working hard. So we're going to give you a rundown, aren't we?
Quick rundown, yeah.
We'll show you what we've done. So it's not finished. Obviously, we've still got wiring and a few bits and pieces, but we've got a few bits and pieces from Spares Box. So this is an Aeroflow vacuum reservoir. So this is for the brakes. It's an aftermarket one, and it'll hold a reserve capacity of vacuum. So you've got a couple of extra pumps out of the pedal if the motor stalls out. Booster and master cylinder, new clutch, master cylinder, hook one line up, still got another line to do here to the front. Some hoses and clamps to hook up this intake. We've got new leads, new plugs in there. Obviously all the gaskets and whatnot have been replaced. Ben has been busy. He got these power steering lines made. So we got the fittings out of an old power steering box, and then we measured the fitting on the power steering pump, and then measured the length of the hoses, and then you went to the shops, didn't you?
Stressful.
Went to NZ in Geelong. So shout out to the boys at NZ in Geelong.
Hooked us up.
Ben's gone and nicely P-clamped them along under the radiator, and they come out there and then go into the pump and into the res, which isn't mounted yet because we've lost the bracket off there, but $20 on eBay for a brand new one.
Beauty.
Coolant hoses. That was actually a VE Commodore hose.
6 litre hose.
VE 6 litre hose just worked. It's not perfect, and I've got a spare one which I'm going to carry in the car, which also will fit the lower if I cut it, so I'll have a spare for both. Thermostat housing, it's an Aeroflow swivel one, so you can set it to whatever direction you want. So I've set it to pointing down, so it goes into the radiator there, which the radiator, this actually come from Matt, which he's got an LS Hilux in Geelong. So one of my mates, he had a couple of spare ones. Story was he bought one off eBay and something happened and he ended up getting another free one sent to him, and he's had it sitting in his shed, and he's gone to a rear mount radiator setup now, but he had this exact setup in his Hilux with the LS, all exactly the same, and he actually still had the fan from it. We haven't had room to put a shroud on there. This is exactly how he had it. I've even used his little brackets that he had. I've just took them off the radiator that was in his car and welded them to the new one. So you can just sort of get your hand in between there, but I had to actually cut and weld onto this throttle body to make this as tight as possible to get that to fit, and hopefully that never touches there. We're going to find out in testing, I guess. Airbox. What did we do there, Ben?
It's a tax job.
What is it?
Poor Franco lost his heart.
So we had a factory Hilux airbox, but the inlet and the outlet of it are tiny, and it did fit in there and it was going to work, but it was like, oh, it's going to be pretty restrictive. This has got a 4-inch inlet and we've used 3-inch here, only because I downsized to 3 there, and I'm like, oh, well, I had some on the shelf and it just worked. I made it up.
You just want to go back to P-plater days with Frank, with a pod filter off the side of the turbo.
Yeah, so Frank's currently got a pod filter just onto him, but this airbox is from Next Level Creations, and I spoke to Next Level Creations, and he is going to make me a new one for this car or Frank or whatever. We're just going to get another one for the other car. So at least I put this in here, plumbed it up, made it work, and yeah, it's ready for the snorkel to be done. But that's in there. Also the 3-inch intake, we sort of had a bit of a Google. Commodore runs a 3-inch intake from factory, correct?
Yeah, they go from 4 to 3 at the throttle body anyway, so.
Yeah,
You put a 4-inch one when you want to upgrade them. This is only here to send a limiter.
Well, it's got it together, it's going to work, and it's going to get us through this trip. There's a lot of stuff here that might be changed later on when we've got more time and after we work out what works and what doesn't. But steering's all hooked up, the intermediate shaft in there. I've used a collapsible one here for engineering. Put a new steering uni in this one there. Had a bit of play in it, so bang the new uni in it. I made up the drag link the other night. It's an aftermarket 79 series drag link, and I've literally just put it into the bender and bent it. So it's like 5 or 6 mil wall tube, so it's nice and heavy and strong. And then I've done a whole bunch of testing, up and down, flexed it out. With that tyre fully flexed up on full lock turning that way, it does get close to this corner of the sump, which had a aluminium thing sticking out of it, kind of like that one there. So I just cut it off, and now it's got heaps of clearance. So what heater hoses were these?
So same again, 6 litre ones, so
yeah,
they run up. Perfect length for one of them.
Perfect length for one, the other one didn't quite reach, but the extra length of that one we cut and joined onto that one. So
and got lucky with that one too. I found a heater hose for the car.
The little
from Repco.
He goes into Repco and they let him go out the back and search through the shelf and found this ancient old hose that had been there for years, and it was the exact right one.
It looked rusty inside. It's been there for years.
Heater tap was not working, so we freed that up, got that working. Battery, we got a new battery. Throttle's hooked up. We ended up changing to an LN, I think this is an LN106 diesel throttle cable that I got.
Flip that bracket over and it works perfect.
Bulk limiter.
Bulk limiter.
Put the bonnet back on as well, and straightened it all up. This radiator nearly bolted straight in. We just had to re-drill the brackets and move it down a little bit. It was getting close. So this is an LN106 radiator, but because I've got a body lift in the car, it's actually helping in our favor. The radiator's in a really good spot. It's just above the cross member, so it's never gonna get hit by anything, and it just fits with the bonnet shut.
There's the extractors.
Bit of a cut and shut to get it looking like that. I was pointing straight at the chassis, so I just docked it and bashed it with a hammer a few times and welded some bits on it. That one the same, it's pointing in a good direction. So I've welded V-bands on, so it's nice and easy to now just do the rest of the system. I can just do whatever I want. This is the steering setup, bit of a better look at it. But what we've also done is added some 80 series bump stops to the front and rear. So the clearance between this pin and the spring is less, the same as pretty much every high steer Hilux. You can do drop hangers on here, which will make that a little bit better. And there's a few modifications people do. We've got some 80 series bump stops off eBay. From factory, they mount with a bolt in the middle. So we drilled straight into there and we just bolted them straight on. It doesn't work. If we want to change it, let down the track, we can just unbolt them. It's one hole. So down the rear, exact same thing. And we've got superior U-bolt flip kits and they hit right in the center of them. So really happy with the rear ones. So this is a factory bump stop. They are quite a lot smaller, but the amount that these compress is quite a lot less. They're quite a hard hitting bump. You know about it when you hit these. 80 series one, they're actually a bit more of a cushion, a lot smoother when they actually do bump out. We've also got our handbrake situation sorted out. So this is an 80 series handbrake cable, just off eBay, all mounted up. Usually that little bracket goes onto here. We've mounted it up there so it can slide through it nice and freely when the diff goes up and down, and it's holding it away from all the sharp edges and stuff. Factory 105 brake line is on there as well, so made that fit. Also, new braided brake lines. The front diff, I've got braided lines for this, but I've got nothing to mount them to, so I've got to get the tags off the old diff and actually weld them onto the axle. Then I'm going to make up custom brake lines for this. So the rear brakes up here, I need to mount a manual proportioning valve there. From factory, the diff has like a big metal rod that goes from there to there, and as the diff moves up and down, it increases or decreases the braking power. Like if you put more weight on, the car gets lower, and in turn that makes it brake more. We'll set this up, we'll adjust it to where it needs to be, and then we can actually fine tune it in. And also allows us to delete the arm, which was going to have issues working with this diff. We've run into a problem. The transfer shifter, we've got it sort of sitting on there and it fits now. And we're getting there. We've made a hole in the floor. Now I've just got to work out how to fill the hole and how to mount the boots. Clutch slave cylinders on there. I've got to make a line for it. Ben's topped up all the fluids. Good. Look at this. He even wrote the date on it with a smiley face. How good's that? Tail shaft clearance is really good. Also, we're working out the tail shaft lengths, and we just realised that a factory LN106 tail shaft bolts straight into there and fits perfectly. The only drama is, at full bump, it is too long by 10 mils, so we can't actually use it. I've told GJ Drivelines we're getting 2 shafts made. I've let them know. It'll be interesting to see what they come back with. The good thing that we know is if I ever do a front shaft, I can just bolt a Hilux shaft into it and it will work completely fine unless I jump it, then it'll bottom out. But what's the go with these flares, Ben? These are from Outback Equipment, aren't they?
Yeah.
Tough terrain, mate.
Tough terrain.
For the tough terrain. These are gonna keep the tough terrain off the side of the car.
We've got a lot of safety precautions. Safety precautions for that anyway.
Yeah. We've got 4 weeks left.
Monday it's going to get wiring.
Monday it is going to get wired. So Corey, that I bought this LS off, that I wheeled it around from his factory around the corner. Originally when I was buying this motor, the budget was the issue. Trying to do it all in the budget and wiring and everything, it was a problem. But Corey actually had this motor, already knew he had it, and it had a suspected intermittent lifter tick. I just took his word for it, but he was selling a bit cheaper because of that, and he had an ECU and a loom. He actually owns a business in Geelong, Waring's Auto Electrical, and they wire up cars and do auto electrical things. So we done a deal. $3,000 it was, motor, ECU, loom, standalone, and he was gonna get it all ready to have it so it can run for me, and he's gonna give me a hand to wire it up to the car. So I'm gonna take it around to Corey next week. I said, I'll just bring the car around to you, it'll be easier, and he's gonna sit the loom on there, and we're gonna go through, hook everything up. There's not much to hook up as far as the car already sort of works. We've got the battery in, we've tried a few things, so
all
standalone.
The lights work.
All the lights work, turn them on.
Indicators.
How good's this?
We've got everything.
We had to replace a couple of globes, but go low beam. I don't know about reverse lights because we haven't hooked that up yet. What you were saying the other day that
if you look up here, all this lights up.
Oh, how good's that?
And then you can actually push the button, it turns off.
Oh, we've got a new steering wheel. Oh,
yeah.
Nearly forgot about that. Red stitching for the red runner. And I got new number plates. Hopefully next week we get it started.
Hopefully next week she runs.
Hopefully. Fingers crossed.
Runner will run.
Hopefully the runner will run again. And hopefully it runs okay because we've had the whole motor apart. But,
you built it.
Yeah, well, that's true. Oh, we'll see you soon.
Another thing that I need to add into the cost is my consumables, and between a few rattle cans of paint, some grinding discs, and then the welding gas and wire that I've used, it comes to around $200. With everything else added, that leaves us with a grand figure of $22,257, which means our remaining budget is now only $7,743. Next episode, we are going to get this thing running, finish off the bar work, and get it ready for Tassie. If you're enjoying this series and you want to see the car in action, make sure you hit the subscribe button to follow along. Tomorrow night, we have Richo back at it again with his BMW powered 60 Series. I'm keen to see more of this car, and if you want to check it out, head over to his channel, Designed and Built. Also, if you want to check out the whole Build Wars playlist, I'll leave a link in the description below, and I'll see you on the next one. Fwah!